Peace. Peace and peace. I'm actually leaving out the door right now. I'm about to go over to this park for a little interview picnic, so to speak. I mentioned yesterday in one of the videos that I made that I wanted to interview a lady regarding child abductions and stuff like that. So we're headed over here right now, and we will be meeting her in a little while. So I'll definitely keep y'all posted. Y'all can look forward to a podcast in a little while, or sometime before the day is out. And it's gonna be a real interesting video, y'all. Stay tuned. Peace. Here. See you in a minute. Peace and peace. Hope everybody's doing well. You know, I actually started this video just a second ago. My son had to remind me that I wasn't even recording. Like, I'm retarded sometimes. But we're about to actually get this started. But I gotta eat first, and I just wanted to show everybody the setup here, what we got going on, what Miss Jocelyn brought for us. We got some, let's see here. Hold on, I gotta get a better picture here. We got the sandwiches over here, and we got the fruit, and we got some chips, and we got some drinks back here. So actually what I'm about to do is I'm about to eat because I'm hungry. And once we're done with that, we're gonna go ahead and get on with this interview. I'm telling you, this is something y'all really, really, really need to see this and pay close attention to what she's saying. All right, peace and peace. Back, and we are actually walking through the park with Miss Jocci, who got a story that's going to upset some of y'all, and a story that's going to make some of you more aware of how we need to be taking care of our kids. But anyway, I'm not going to take up too much of her time. But I'm just gonna start off like you can introduce yourself, or you can you can introduce yourself, of course, and then go ahead and tell your story. The story you told me about your daughter in that situation.
Okay. Well, my name is Jocelyn, and I have 2 kids, and the story is about someone who tried to abduct my child and a couple of other kids. It was the last day of school, and they actually kind of let out a little early, and so I didn't get a chance to get to the bus stop on time. So my daughter came and she was banging at the door, and I opened the door and she dove in the door. And I asked what happened, and she was yelling that there was a man that was out there trying to kidnap her and her friends. So I grabbed her and I said, well, show me where he's at. And I went out. I couldn't find him, but the other parents of the other children that he was also trying to come after were also telling me what was going on. They also informed me they called the police. I called the police. So when the police came to my house, this situation did not happen at my house. It happened when the bus driver dropped the kids off of the school bus.
Okay, hold on right there. Let's see, I was wrong. And I did give a disclaimer in an earlier video because I think I got 2 stories combined. Okay, so they weren't walking, they were getting off the bus.
They got off the bus and they started walking home.
Okay.
But all 3 children lived in all different directions. It was a little boy and 2 girls. The little boy ran home and he chased after the other little girl. And I'm assuming he did that because she was on the chunkier side. So I'm assuming he did, you know what I mean, figuring she was slower. But all the kids got home safely. When I called the police, they pulled up to my house in 2 police cars. And the man was in one of the cars.
Wait a second. So they brought this man to your house.
He
didn't know where you lived.
He did not know where I lived.
Wow.
Yeah. So they brought him to my house and they proceeded to take him out the car. And they had the other officer was trying to ask my child to identify him. And I asked the officer, well, why didn't you ask to take us to the police station or meet you at the police station?
Right.
And they said that they didn't want to do that. It was more convenient for them to come to my house.
So it's more convenient for them to let a potential kidnapper know where you live. Wow.
Yeah, he didn't know where
and that's one of the reasons why you didn't want to be on video. I get it. I mean, that's kind of scary. You know what I mean? Okay, so they brought this man to your house. Was he arrested?
What happened was, I assumed that they took him in. Okay, so I didn't hear anything else about it. They said they were going to, investigate it more fully, talk to the other parents, and that was the last I heard about it. The very next day, I got up very early to go somewhere, and I live on a boulevard where the houses where I live at are spaced out, and there's usually no one on my front street. So it caught my eye to see someone standing a couple doors down from where I lived. So when I had to double take because it was this man. He had the same clothes on, the same jacket, the same hat, the same bags that he had whenever they arrested this man.
Wow. All right, well, hold on now, because I remember something that you said that I know you probably like, I don't want people to know. No, people need to know how a mother reacts to somebody trying to harm their children. And then I want to know what your thoughts were when you seen this clown right outside your house the next day.
Yeah.
So you remember when you told me what you did when your daughter told, what did you do? Exact words. You ain't got to be nice.
Now, like I said, I have 2 kids now, but then I was pregnant with my youngest now. So I was pregnant and I threw my shoes on. I grabbed my daughter's hand. I grabbed me a couple weapons and I said, point them out. So I started walking up and down the street, and when I got up the street, the other parents were looking at me like, what are you doing? What's going on? And I'm like, where is he at? You know where he went. Point me in the direction, So I did. I went off not thinking straight, and I didn't find him. And that's
lucky for him, right?
Lucky for him, and also me, because I just feel like I really shouldn't have left the house in that state of mind. I probably should have took a little more time to think about it.
But you gotta understand, like,
these
a parent,
are our children.
yeah,
These
exactly.
are definitely our children, and we react because these are our children, and we want to make sure that they're safe. So I just decided to go home because I did call the police. So I wanted to make sure that they were there when I got there.
Well, I just wanted to hear that part again.
Yeah.
So, all right. So now you got this daggone predator,
Who didn't know where I
who the
lived.
police brought to your house.
Yes.
Now standing outside your house the next day, across the street from your house the next morning.
Before I say that, when they did bring him to the house, I asked him why they brought him to my house. And they said, oh, he's not at your house. Our second car is technically parked at the neighbor's house. But the neighbor's house and my house is next door to each other. So he can see where I live. He can see my address.
Man, I really
everything.
want to expose them, but we ain't going to go there. There might be some legal issues with that. But I like to expose that officer who's going to tell you some nonsense like that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, so...
especially when they got proximity charges.
Mm-hmm.
You get caught down the street with some drugs, they're going to charge you because you within a block of a church. But it don't work the same way when you bringing a predator to somebody's house to identify them.
Yeah.
Come on, man. That's some nonsense. Okay. So what happened? So what'd you do?
As far as...
when you saw him outside your house.
Okay, so I came out 6 o'clock in the morning. So here's my thing. It's 6 o'clock in the morning. I don't know when they let him go or how long he was even there. But like I said, I came out. I had to double take because I was like, I know I'm not tripping. That's the same man from yesterday. So I started walking to my destination, which was like several blocks up the street. He took off running towards the alleyway behind my house, like running. And I didn't pay him no attention because I was still on my front street. So there's a lot of empty lots. So you can see the alleyway from the boulevard where I was at. And I look over and I see him looking at me, and we're kind of walking the same way, same pace, just he's in the alleyway and I'm on the front street. He followed me all the way, several blocks, all the way to my destination. And when I got to my destination, he stood across the street and just stared at me. And I was like, you know what? So I said, okay, maybe he was there's a bus stop here. Maybe he's coming to get on the bus. The bus came. He didn't get on the bus. So he comes over across the street where I was at, and I immediately got up and I called the police department to ask them, where is this man at? Because in my mind, I know this is him, but I just was trying to make sure that I wasn't tripping and I wasn't going to take anything out on whoever this person was.
Even though it probably should have been taken out on them too, because that's kind of creepy either way.
Yeah, either
or
way.
Hell,
but I just was
creepy.
Before I just went a little crazy, I just wanted to confirm. So they informed me, well, whoever was here prior, they're not here right now. You'll have to call back later because we can't tell you anything. I said, okay. I did. Someone actually called me back like 10 minutes later, and I asked the officer what happened with the situation that happened yesterday. And they said, oh yeah, this is how they said it. Oh yeah, we let him go. And I was like, well, did he get any charges? Did he get charged with anything? Like, what happened with that situation? And they said, well, we can't really tell you all of that. We let him go.
Wait, they can't tell you. You're the person who called them because he was trying to abduct your daughter.
Right.
Now he's maybe going to potentially try to sexually assault you. But they can't give you any information about that. Wow.
They couldn't give me information on anything.
Wow.
What actually really blew my mind, though, is because they were saying, oh, well, he doesn't even live here. So, and I was like, he's not from, so you're saying to me, excuse me, that this man is not from here, but he's here trying to abduct 3 children, and y'all let him go. Okay? Y'all didn't just hear, the police didn't just hear my story. The other parents also called the police, and they also got the same exact story from me as well. So they let him go, and he's been running around, I guess, trying to abduct.
So have you seen him since then?
I have not.
Since that day? But my thing is, like, you know what? And the sad thing about it, and I appreciate you being open and, you know what I mean, with your story. I know that's kind of rough, because I'm going to tell you something. I'm a single parent. I'm a single parent, and I know things are a little bit different when you're dealing with a man, you know, but things would have turned out a little bit differently. I ain't even gonna stunt. Yeah, no, I'm not trying to be a nice guy. I don't play with my kids. You feel me? But my thing is like the fact that they would let them out, and the thing is, do you realize that a lot of these pedophiles, a lot of these daggone rapists, and these weirdos, they know the law. They know what they can get away with. He knew that he could walk and follow you down that alley, and if the police came, he could just play some role like, oh, you know, and that really sucks that people get away with stuff like that, because I'm gonna tell you something. I have been harassed by the police plenty of times, plenty, and I haven't even been following no woman or trying to chase down no children. I might have just been walking and just get harassed. So the fact that they would allow somebody like this, just let them out and be so nonchalant with it. As a matter of fact, let's go back a couple steps. The fact that they would bring a potential kidnapper to the house of the child that they were trying to kidnap, and then let him out the next day, as if they were purposely trying to let him go ahead and get his prey.
I had to take extra steps after that, especially as far as the school goes, because even though it was the last day of school, and the bus driver, he was just doing his job. He dropped the kids off and then he left as usual. But after that year, we were in a walk zone, and I refused to let my child, who walks by herself, would be walking by herself, to walk to school.
Right.
And the school actually gave me an issue about it. But I also did call the school. I do want to mention, I did call the school and inform them about that situation after it happened. And the school as well, they didn't care. And usually they put out an alert to the neighborhood and all the parents to let them know what was going on. The principal did tell me that that's what he was going to do, and they did not do that either.
What city was this in?
New Kensington, Pennsylvania.
Okay. That's crazy. Well, thank you. Like I said, I'm not going to take up too much more of your time. I know you said, I see you looking at your watch. I know you said you had to go. So it's cool. I appreciate it. I imagine we're going to get some comments from some moms that's going to be maybe wanting to know some more or whatever. But hopefully, if you're willing, you know what I mean, I'll contact you if we want to answer some questions and stuff like that. That'll be cool.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
No problem.
All right. Well, listen. We're going to go ahead and take a little quick break, and we're going to get back, because I got some words. Peace, and peace. Back at the lab. I just wanted to basically make this little short clip just to conclude the video that I made earlier. I want to thank Jocelyn. The food was good. Those hoagies was good. It filled me up. I'm still full, and I was like hours ago. Anyway, we also want to thank her for her story. And basically, you know, I'm really hoping that opens someone's eyes. I really hope that it causes us to start paying more attention to strangers in our neighborhoods. Just like she mentioned, I don't know if she mentioned in the video, I believe so, but I know she told me that the police told her that he wasn't from around there. So my thing is, like, we got to start paying attention. I know people are in and out of our neighborhoods, and we don't want to be nosy and all that kind of stuff. But when we have children, you got to be nosy. When you're a homeowner, you got to be nosy. When it comes to people moving into your neighborhood, you want to know who's moving in, who's next door, what we're going to have to deal with, all that kind of stuff. And the thing is, it's all about safety. It's all providing a safe environment for our kids and them not having to worry about nonsense like that. Little kids got to run from a grown man. And then the next day, the mother, like, man, I'm telling you, that story is just crazy. It's crazy. But we're going to pray for her. Like I said, we want to try to get this type of information out. You know, we want people to join this family, join this community. Come on in. Close the door. You know, the thing is, like, we need each other, man. This world is, things are going really wild and out of control. And the thing is, like, we need we need each other, man. How do you live in the same neighborhood and you don't even speak to your neighbor? Your kids go to the same school, you shop at the same stores, you sit outside and breathe the same daggone air. Like, how do y'all not know each other? Why would you not want to know your neighbor? Like, that's, wow. But anyway, I hope someone got something from that. I hope we're more aware. We want to combat this. We don't want our kids having to go through this nonsense. We want them to have bright futures. We want to be examples for them. We want to teach them also to be aware. You know, we want to teach them to be aware. And if any of you have any tips in regards to safety for children, safety for moms, women, period, if you have any tips, please leave those tips in the comments. We'll appreciate it. And once again, I hope you all have a great rest of the day. Thank you for coming with me. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for praying for me. Those of you who do, I know you do. I know you do, and I appreciate it. And peace.